Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? Alright, so okay, I know what I said we were going to do, but my plans changed, and we'll do that Monday. Because I got to go pick my glasses up in Murray tomorrow, and that's where I was going shopping. So instead of going to Murray 2 days in a row, which you don't do when you live in the boondocks kind of thing. Right. Alright, so I have a super cute project, and I've been working on this little guy. Okay. I made him specifically for the Unique in the Creek boards, just the body. Look at him. Isn't he cute? So this is the rough draft. See, when I make these things, I make them rough and then I make them polished. This is the rough draft, but I will be selling him. All right. Now, I know that most of you will probably just go ahead and use mesh to make a peacock, but I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit fun, just to inspire y'all. Okay? Y'all like to be inspired, right? He's cute. Okay, so what I did was I made some feathers out of felt. So that's what I'm going to show you, how I did it. Some of y'all may want to try it, some of y'all may not. But still, how about it? You know what? It's called being creative. So I'm going to take you through that process. Okay? So what I did for my template is I made it's just a teardrop shape, y'all. And I made my teardrop, it's about 8.5 inches tall. Alright, so this is what I did for Peacock. And then I made 2 more that are slightly smaller. Alright. So you can just get a teardrop and customize it to whatever size that you want. Print it up. That's as simple as that. Alright. Like I said, probably most of y'all will just do it Lori style with some mesh. Right? Alright. So, then what you want to do with the felt is quite simple. You just need a black permanent marker. Hello, Miss Lori Franklin. Hello, everybody. And you're going to trace around that. And then to do the bigger one, I pinned it at the top. And I pinned it at the tip so it won't move. And then I cut just inside the black line so the black disappears. All right. And we're going to cut those different sizes. I really only recommend cutting 2 layers at a time. If you cut more than that, they kind of don't cut as well. The felt moves around too much. Now I've already put all the pieces together for the project. I'm just showing y'all the whole process here. So I'll make a couple and then we'll move on to assembly. And I had a hard time picking which board to use because I will show y'all. There was different choices for the boards. So if you do this, of course, when you do it yourself, whatever, you can pick whichever board you want, and I'll show you how it'll end up looking. Because you can do a pretty big one on the large board. Of course, you'll need more peacock feathers than what I made if you want to do it on the large board. I just chose to do it on the small board. You can do it on the wing board. Cut the wing board in half. You can do it on the triangle board. So this little dude has a lot of options. Now, I don't have a triangle board to show you that one, but I have several. This is felt. You can use foam sheets if you want to. I chose to use felt. I did make the peacock, and I will start selling peacock. This is a demo one. The one that I will sell will be a whole lot more polished looking. This was just like the demo one to see how y'all liked it, if you were interested, kind of thing. So y'all let me know. All right. Okay, so let me show you what I did. So I had this laying around for a different project. Okay? And you can make your peacock as fun as your peacock feathers as fun as you want to. I got the fringe off of Amazon. And this is 1-inch fringe. I got it off of Amazon. Okay? And it was fairly inexpensive for the amount that I got. But it comes in umpteen different colors. Yeah, it's 12 inches. You could do yellow with your peacock feather. I just chose to do blue, like a tealish blue to kind of keep in theme. Now, what you want to do, now typically you would rip you would tear this off after, but in order to get this to bend around your feather correctly, you have to go ahead and let the fringe loose, because otherwise it won't bend around correctly. And what I did is I just kind of started halfway up, or 3/4 of the way at the bottom, however you want to say it. And right at the edge, I put a bead of glue, hot glue. And then there's a kind of a seam for the fringe. So I made sure that it was just laying to the inside, just to the inside of my felt, which I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let me zoom in so y'all can see a little bit better. How about that? And then you don't cut all the way through the fringe, you just cut the threaded area, the seam. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's where the fringe is sewed together up here that I'm talking about. All right. Now, we're going to line this up, and I'm going to hold down at the corner, which I'll show you why here in a second. I'm going to hold down here at this corner, at the point, and I'm going to fold that much back. And then I'm just going to put my hot glue around the edge of the fringe here. And I thought that kind of gave it more of a feathered look, a frayed feathered kind of binding, I guess, Sharon. It's kind of how it's woven in with thread kind of thing. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, you can get sticky felt for this next part to use. Oh, wait. One more thing. I got this off of Amazon too. It's lasted me a long time. This is 18 gauge jewelry wire. And we're going to use that to make our feather good and sturdy. And I'm going to cut it 20 inches. Like I said, before we actually start assembly, I'll show you one more time how to make the feather. That's why we left the bottom open, was to insert this wire. Once you get it inserted, take the wire and kind of push it and it'll bend. And I'm bending it around to the outside of the feather. And then what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to seal the bottom. So I'm going to crisscross my wire into my tip. lay down a bead of hot glue there, and then hold that down. I use using low temp. That's like really only thing. The only time I ever put my hot glue gun on high temp is if I'm gonna have to use a large quantity of hot glue. And then we're going to cut the wire off, the excess wire off. Now we can put on our other pieces. So I kind of just lined it up at the top, kind of eyeballed it. And the first thing I do was I glue the tip down. And then I grab my blue piece. Like I said, kind of eyeballing it. I'm going to glue my tip down once again. Now I'm going to glue the whole piece down. And then to kind of like put the little icing on the cake, I bought these on Amazon when I made another peacock. And I was like, you know, that would help. So these are little, just little jewels, little teardrop jewels. Like I said, you can get these on Amazon in different colors. And that's about it. If your glue is showing through your felt, you probably need to buy a better quality felt. All right, so let me show you one more time. So this is fringe. It's 1-inch fringe. And you're going to want to, and I'll show you why real quick, because once you go around the corner, I'll show you, when you go around the corner, this makes it so it's not pliable. It kind of pulls on it, and it doesn't really bend around the curve. That's why you need to pull some of this off. Yeah, I've never had a problem with my glue showing through my felt. And then once you get your fringe on, grab your other piece, your other teardrop. Like I said, I'm going to hold my hand here and just pull this back, and I'm just going to put a bead of glue right around my fringe. Then I've already got a piece of wire cut, so let me just grab it. Like I said, this is 18 gauge jewelry wire, so it's pretty strong. No, it's fringe. Said I got it on Amazon, and it comes in several different colors, and what I got was a 1-inch fringe. Now, of course, you don't have to do the fringe. I just thought it would make it look, give it a little depth and make it look more like a feather kind of thing. And I already had it because I had used it for something else. Waste not, want not kind of thing. While that cools, I'm going to go ahead and grab my line piece. So I'm just eyeballing it. I don't think it has to be perfect. Grab my blue piece. By the way, momentous occasion tonight because I'm using zip ties. And then, like I said, I had these little jewels. I got them from Amazon. They're little teardrop jewels. I must be missing something here. Y'all got me confused on what's going on with the conversation. And that's how I made the peacock feather. Oh, you responding to me using zip ties. Yes, we're using zip ties tonight. All right, let's put the peacock together and get y'all excited. If you want me to show you how to make another feather after, I will. All right, so like I said, we're going to use the small board. Now, my friends, my husband didn't get home in time to cut this. So you can cut this if you want to. But I had an idea for, not everybody has the ability to cut the boards. Okay? So I had an idea to solve that problem. But let me put this up close so y'all can see the tie placement. And y'all can get your screenshot. So I'm using 16 zip ties. Now, here was my idea. Was because this is a peacock, we're just going to give it a little bit of background. I had a really darker green felt, so we're just going to kind of cover the board. And it'll be okay. Like I said, not everybody has the ability to cut the boards in half. All right, so we need a backing, and you'll see why here in a minute. So the first thing I'm going to do is trace around the board. Get our circle. He comes in pretty handy. All right, I'm going to set that to the side. We'll come back to that. But next, what I'm going to do, I said, I'm going to kind of create like it's standing in grass background. So what I want to do is I want to butt my felt as close to my underneath of my zip ties as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bead of hot glue to hold that on. Cut the excess off. Like I said, I just chose green because, like, green grass. Y'all know what I mean? And then I like to pull up from the bottom first. Everybody with me so far? All right, now we're going to go in between. And you want to pull this fairly tight so it's nice and flush. Somebody needs to send my husband chocolate. Like, he has, people used to send him chocolate all the time. He hasn't gotten a chocolate care package in, like, forever. He probably thinks people don't love him anymore. Oh, thank you. This was something I wanted to do this last year, and I just hadn't found the right inspiration. But I had found the right inspiration this year, so he came to life. Alright, now that we got that done, cut all the excess off. So basically we're just covering half our board, and that's just going to be the background for him to sit on. Y'all see what I'm saying? Instead of cutting the board off. And then once we're done putting the feathers on, then we'll need this circle, so we'll go ahead and cut it out. And the whole purpose of this circle is it's going to give our felt something to hold on to and make sure that this doesn't come off. We're going to go felt to felt. Because felt loves hot glue. So if this gets out in the heat, we don't have to worry about the heat, this popping off in the heat. So that's why we're doing this. It's just a little extra protective measure. Alright, so let me show you a little inspiration. First, okay, before I pop all these on, I want to show you something. So here's how it would look on the wing board, for an example. Now, if you wanted to cut the board in half, that's fine. But it just gives it a different look. So you would put, and I'm just setting these here. For you to get an idea of how it would look on the wing board, to maybe inspire you. So you would cut the wing board in half. Isn't that cute? So that's on the wing board. Oh. On the larger board, you would need more feathers, my friends. Okay? But I'll just give you an example of what it will look like. Once again, you would kind of go in half with the board. And you want to start on the outside, which I'll show you all in a minute when we actually go to assemble. But if you wanted to do like a really big one, get the large board out. And I don't know, maybe take Sharon's idea and plant some tulips down here, have them standing in some tulips. Just an idea. And I'm going to tell you what, I showed this to Lori earlier and she told me, oh, that just looks so tedious. And I said, and wood burning's not tedious? She's like, touche. And like I said, for the large board, you would definitely need more of these. Maybe not. So that would be the large board, and you know, basically, if you wanted to, you can cut the large board in half, or like I said, maybe make him look like he's sitting in some tulips. Plant a little garden down here. Y'all know what I mean? That's an idea. And then, of course, on the triangle board, it would be just about, I don't have a triangle board or I'd show you. But on the triangle board, obviously, yep. I think it'd be super cute with the triangle board, because he would sit nicely, and the feathers go up, right? Okay. Back to the matter at hand. Alright, so here we have our feathers, and you want to start on the bottom. It does kind of matter where you start because of how you want your feathers to lay. And you want to be consistent in the depth. And the depth that I'm using is approximately like ½ inch. So what you want to do, maybe use 2 fingers, whatever is a guideline. Kind of like when you make your flower. Because you want to make sure that they're all the same height, right? Look, Mom, I'm using zip ties. No? Now, I want to show you something neat for those of you that are afraid this is going to pull out. You can do a couple things. You can back it with, you can put the drop of glue behind this, I'm going to just put my glue on the front, and since it's wired, I'm just going to fold it back over my zip tie, like so. And then I don't have to worry about it pulling out. Hey, Liz. So now those are secure. We don't have to worry about them coming out because they're hooked on the zip tie, right? So now we'll come down to our next row. Now I am going back and forth for a reason, and the reason I'm going back and forth is so that the feathers lay better, because that way, because if you lay them all this way, then it doesn't look right where you're coming in, and it's a little bit more uniform. I was going to buy a zip tie gun from Harbor Freight, and I don't know what stopped me. All right, last ones. I did. I made the peacock body. I will be selling him. The one that you see before you is a kind of like a rough draft one. He's the learning model. I did. I made the feathers as well. And once again, I'll show y'all before I get off here. I've got stuff. I'll show y'all how I made the feather again. It was pretty easy. I'll be teaching my group tomorrow how to make the peacock in my private group. That's okay, Julie. I planned on showing it again for those that did come in late. I showed a couple at the beginning. We'll show one at the end. I'm just about done with the assembly here. And because they're wired, you can adjust them if you need to. Alright, so we're going to take and hold that thought. I need a spare piece of felt. Y'all can't expect me to do a whole project without using a pipe cleaner, right? Here it comes. Here's the pipe cleaner. It was bound to happen, y'all. Betty, they're not ready for purchase yet. I just finished the demo one today. But once they're available, they'll be available on my website. I made it. I made all of this. Alright, because we're covering the back up, I'm just going to snip the pipe cleaner this time. And then what I'm going to do to secure him down, I'm going to actually have to poke a hole in one of my feathers, which is fine. It is what it is, right? Dottie, it'll probably be like 5 o'clock, I would imagine. I gotta get my other pipe cleaner on, y'all. I wasn't totally sure how I was gonna secure the whole body till I actually got it together. Y'all know what I mean? Isn't that cute, y'all? He turned out so cute. You like him, Lori? Alright, Now, we want to make sure that our felt here doesn't come off, so we're going to put it on a felt-to-felt background. The heat, this is plastic, y'all. I've never had a problem with hot glue coming off. I'm not going to take that chance, and I probably should put my, there it is, I put my hanger on first, or not. I'll poke my holes in a minute. How about that? Because we'll be able to see them. So you don't really need to cover the back of the boards, but in this case, it's just to make sure the felt doesn't come off. So we're using felt to make sure that it doesn't go sliding off, since hot glue and felt are best friends. So that's the whole reason for the felt backing. I loves him. I just loves him. All right. One of these days, I'm always afraid I'm going to stab myself, but that hadn't happened yet. We'll see. I'm always pretty careful. So, some of y'all will probably do it with mesh, but I just kind of wanted to be a little bit creative tonight with y'all and do a creative project. What do y'all think? I thought about giving him legs, but then I was like, it'll be okay. All right, so let me show you how I made it. Once again, I made 3 templates of 3 different sizes teardrops. It's just teardrops, y'all. However big you want to make yours. Mine are about 8.5 inches tall. And then the next one down is about 5 3/4. And the one after that is 3 3/4, okay? Now, what I used for the outside of the Peacock is fringe. And you get it really cheap on Amazon. This is 1-inch fringe. You're going to want to pull this. Go ahead and pull your string to set your fringe free. Just along the outside edge. And lay your fringe down. Now, like I said, you don't have to do this part. I just really kind of had it, and it added something to it, so why not, right? And then once I get that on, I'm going to bring my other piece. And I'm going to line the tips up, and then I'm going to hold my hand right here on the tips and fold this back. And then I'm just going to hot glue along the fringe edge. Now, what I have here is 18 gauge jewelry wire. I got it on Amazon also. And I'm going to cut it 20 inches. And we're going to fold this in half because this is what's going to give our feather a little bit of stability. We all need stability in our life. We're going to poke that in there. And then once we get it in there, we're going to kind of push it and round it so it fills. And then what I do is I crisscross at the tip. And now we're going to take our two smaller pieces. Like I said, I just kind of eyeball it myself. I don't think it has to be perfect. And then I glue the tip down to keep it from moving. Then the blue. And you can use whatever color you want. These are just the colors I chose. It's just stuff I had here. And I had these jewels here. These are little teardrop jewels. I got these on Amazon as well. Cut the little bit of excess wire off. And that's how I made the feather. What do y'all think? And the size that I made, you only need 16. This is not available for purchase yet. I didn't know if y'all wanted like different colors or just this blue. Y'all know what I mean? Like, did you want me to be creative on the colors? I kind of need your feedback. Now, believe it or not, y'all, I could take this. I've made like a wreath, and I can put this in a wreath now. He's all ready to go. He can be put in a wreath. It's like a wreath attachment. You can put a bow down here at the bottom. For those that, you can give them a bow instead of feet. Know what I mean? Y'all want me to make this a kit? Surely you're not wanting me to cut the pieces out. How about I mean, like, if I do a kit, I'd be willing to, like, do the templates. but not cut the felt out. Like, give you just enough felt, but that'd be like what I'd be willing to do is like the templates. Well, I actually have a better idea since y'all are willing to cut your own felt. I will upload these, and if you are in the Unique in the Creek group, they'll post them. Remember how we've done that before? And we can email it. How about that? Because that's all you really need is just the templates. Right? Y'all can go to Hobby Lobby and get felt. How about that? Alright? Alright, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. I will see y'all, and y'all have a great weekend. I will see y'all Monday. Bye, y'all.